Okay, finally, this is the next step. So now that we have our grid on our paper and we have our grid on our reference point, all I'm going to do now is just follow where the points match. So I'm going to start, I always start at the top, and I'm only concerned about just doing an outline of his the side. So it starts in C, so I'm just going to, and again, I'm doing this flat. I don't normally do that because I get a perspective. So, oops, sorry. I'm going to stand up because I could see it much better. Okay. Start here. I'm just going to follow. You see how I'm going? Okay. Just follow the line. I'm just sketching, and I am using it on the side, not drawing like this. You want to just follow. And then the tip of his ear, you can see right here, kind of comes up like that. And it kind of goes, so there's the ear. Kind of flips down, has a little bit of shape like that. And then it goes like this, down. Again, just watch it. So now here I'm coming down to this square. So I'm going to just fill that in. That's like a little triangle space right there. Bring that over. So that's kind of in the middle. And I'm going to start just drawing his jawline. Right here is a little bit darkness. It's his neck, so I'm going to continue that right down, and we're right in the middle. So it doesn't really look like I'm quite in the middle. So I'm just going to take this and just kind of go in there and just kind of blot that out. So I'm in 6 and D. So this is really how you keep track. So I'm going to concentrate on this block right here. So I see the earlobe goes like this. It's kind of divided in half where his jawline starts to come down, and then it comes down just a little bit there. So I'm going to kind of go here, and I'm going to watch my shapes. Kind of goes like this, not as sharp, but I could go back and fix that. I'm looking at these little triangle shapes right in through here and through here. So and then if you lose your spot, you just look over him on 8 and E. So that's right there. Continue, just sketch. Sketch. Kind of down here. And we're not going to worry about any details right now. I'm just getting in for the most part. It's like his chin is going to end right there. So already you're starting to see how it really does start to shape up. It's really starting to look like him. So I'm going to go back up into this ear right here, into this square, because there's a little, that dark spot. I'm just going to fill that in. And then right here is where the neck, his neck goes down right into 8D. So I have 8D. And again, I'm just sketching because I can move things around. And then I'm in D, actually C and D. I'm going to look at C and D over 8. C and D, 8. So I'm in these two squares. And again, this is just sketching. You would do this if you were just sketching a live model or whatever. You just want to get everything settled. So I've got that in. And then I want to go back up here where his neck is. Just going to kind of smudge that out. And this is where his sweater is. So it's 7, which is, I'm over here, 7. And it starts right under in the middle of D, so 7D. So I'm right here. and then you just follow. And again, if you could see the way I'm using my pencil, I'm right here now. And I'm in 8, and it just kind of falls in that. So that's his, so I'm going to put that there. Okay, so now that I have the outline of his side of his face, I'm going to just start in with the hairline here. So I'm going to go to 2, right to the edge, so it kind of goes like this, and I'm just going to sketch. Just kind of go with the flow here. Just putting the hairline in. And we'll get into all those different values later. So I'm just going to bring it around like that. I'm not going to worry about all these little details. That comes last. So I'm at 3, so it comes like about like this. A little bit here. And then where his ear starts, it comes down a little bit more here. And the sideburn kind of goes like that. So you see how very, very simple I'm doing this right now. The ear it looks kind of funky, but we're just paying attention to shapes. Now for the eye, I'm going to go across here, so it starts here at 5. So you just want to look into this block. It's very abstract when you really look at this, if you just isolated that block. So I'm going to just put in a shape here that's kind of dark. It's just the shadow of his nose, and it kind of goes like this, and I'm just going to shade it in like that. Then out here, the nose. Again, these are just shapes. It's your brain is telling you that it's a nose, but I'm just trying to look at it as shapes. So I got that there. This is all in shadow, so I'm just going to put a little bit of shading like that. Just very light right now because I'm going to work into that. Now for the eye, it's still in 5, so I'm going to go over about, it kind of starts over here. So I'm just going to draw the shape. I'm not going to worry about, and I'm squinting my eyes. So as I squint them, I just see this shape here. Not this here, just this shape right here. Kind of goes like that, brings it down. Up like that. And then it kind of goes into E, so I know that it's, okay. I know right now it doesn't look like much, and I'm going to go in here and just fill this in just a little bit, just to give it, so that we know it's his hair. Again, this is just filling in. We'll get into all those other details, the different values. And then with the ear, the ears are hard, so I'm going to go look at this intersection right here. You see, these are my guides. So I look here, and I kind of see it. This shape, it's kind of like I don't know, like an odd square shape. So I'm just going to put that in there just for now. And then the ear kind of goes up like this. And I'm just going to look at that shape. I'm just dissecting this. All shapes, not that it's an ear. And again, I squint my eyes, and it kind of goes like that. And we have a little bit in here. And we have that darkness. And we'll refine that again. There's his nose. So now what I like to do at this point, I'm going to get my white charcoal or my white pastel pencil. Because I want to start at least marking some, I want to mark some of my highlights. So again, I'm just going to, so right now I'm going to just put in where that is. And I know I see the shape is a lot different, but I can fix that. It's no big deal. And in here, just want to put down some of the highlights. And then right with the nose is here. And again, I'm squinting my eyes because I see this shape. I could start to make it darker, so I'm going to go in a little bit darker. And you can see that I'm filling in, getting rid of the. So this kind of gets dark in here. So I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to just kind of do that shape again. We're looking at shapes. Now at this point, if I start getting confused, I'm going to flip it upside down. And I know I talked about that, and that's in that book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. So right now, my brain is going, okay, this is not a face anymore. So if I want to go back to the ear, I can go in here now and just. So now the ear, you see this, see the spacing right here? Mine is off. So all I'm going to do is just use my chamois and just wipe it off. And I'm going to use my white, bring it in here, make it really, really narrow, because you're going to have this area here that's going to be shaded in that particular value. So the ear kind of goes like this, and then it kind of widens out a little bit more. And I'm just going to, and I go right over the black too, because I'm going to show you that little technique in blending with the eraser. So let me find it. Okay, so I'm going to need this. So I'm going to just kind of give it a little point. And what I do is very gently, I kind of in a circular motion, because there really isn't a line here, so to speak. That's a shape. It almost looks like a reverse Nike. Okay. Now the more I see that, it kind of points up a little bit. So I'm going to bring it like this. And it's a lot darker right here where the fold is. So I'm going to make that a little bit wider. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just concentrating on just different shapes. And you could start to see how it's a little bit darker. And then to blend out the edges a little bit more, I just take my eraser and I'm just kind of rubbing it, really, not blending it. So you can start to see that it's starting to take shape. And then I could go in and, you know, darken this up and work that way. But getting back to the eye, I love doing eyes. So we're right in this shape. So now that I turned it upside down, that shape looks different. So now I can go back, and I'm using my pencil like this. I don't know if you could see it. I'm not really holding it like this, like a regular pencil. I'm holding it because I want to do sketching. I'm just squinting my eyes, and I'm just doing this shape, okay? And it's pretty dark. I could just about see his eye there, but we can always edit things. That's what's the nice thing about when you're doing art. Bring it over. It goes over here. It kind of just turns up, but it's very dark in through here. Now right here, I'm going to go in and just start putting that roundness. All right, and I see his eye. It's very dark, it's in shadow, but I still see that. Here's the eye right there. Okay, I just made it a line. So it kind of goes to that line, so I'm going to do this. Okay, and that's pretty dark, so I'm just going to do that. And then just make this again. Bring that eye up. It's You want to do, when you're doing eyes, you want to do arcs like this. Instead of drawing a circle like that, when you're making circles, you want to just do arcs, and you get a nice round circle without having to worry about just trying to get it done in one fell swoop. All right, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to keep adding some darker values in here. So I have the eye, and I'm going to just bring it up, make it a little bit dark, and then I'm going to just bring in, because I want to make this pop out a little bit more. Okay, and then I can see that he's got this white, that value. I'm going to go in and just, and I am drawing over the charcoal because I'm going to keep doing layers. And then we have some more different values under here. So when I get to this point now, I'm going to take a break because, like I said, you want to step back. Normally this would be on a easel. So now, right now, you know, it's not perfect, but now I can see it. The eye is a lot bigger, so I'm going to just bring it up. And then I'm going to, again, with this, just going to kind of rub this out a little bit. I could blend it. I'm going to make it a lot darker. And right now, I know this is hard to see, so I'm just going to bring the eye up. And I'm going to look into that shape right here. And then what I like to do, because I love to make eyes pop out, I'm just going to give it a little highlight, even though it's not there, but it just brings life to the person. Okay. And then I'm just going to keep working on, then he has this line here, so now I'm going to bring the eyebrow, and I'm just going to, again, I'm only going to put this shape in here. So it kind of goes up like this, and I'm just going to do this. Again, squinting my eyes. Got this. Now at some point, what I'll do is, right in this area here, I will take out the line because I don't want it to show, so I'm just gonna move that out. So now I'm gonna bring in the white for the highlight, and again, he's got that look. And again, if you see those lines coming through, just get it with your, you can go in and just rub it out. And I'm going kind of like in a circular motion because I don't want to get streaks. I like to go. And this is another reason why we keep our pencils sharp like that, or long, because I use the side a lot. So now it's starting to look like something. Okay, now right here you see these edges. They're not a very sharp line, so I'm gonna kind of go in there with my eraser. You want to make sure it's clean, so I always knead it. You want it to be that color because it picks up. By doing this, you clean it. So fold it up again, make a little point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of blur the edge just a little bit. Okay, and I can go back in there and I will get my values, but I want to just, you see how it's kind of just fades, and I'm not really crazy about that shape right there, but we're getting there. And then for this, I'll just go in there and I'll just really put the darkness in because that really pushes it back. Light brings things forward and dark pushes things back. Okay, so you can start to see, and I'm just going to very lightly, and it has to do with your pressure of your pencil. And the funny thing about this is, I always say these, when you first start a drawing, it's like the awkward stage, like I call it the adolescent period of a thing. It doesn't really start to look like things, and this is really kind of frustrating, and everybody gets this, and I still do. Until it starts to look like something, you know, you kind of get, I don't know, kind of frustrated. But now it's starting to come alive because I'm adding my values. The grid was just specifically for getting things in proportion. So now I'm going to take my kneaded eraser, and of course I'm filthy because I'm pulling my hand down this way. If you're doing that and you don't have an easel, what you can do is just take a piece of copy paper and just put it like this so that you don't get your hand, because I mean, look at my hands already, they're filthy. But again, don't worry about that because it gets cleaned up. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to keep working it. So now I see right in here it's very dark. So I'm going to go in here and just really go in and give that shape, because you can't, you know, his eye, it's kind of hard to see. Let me see. And that's why I always have two, because you see this has the grid on it. Now I could kind of see that better, because it's almost like he's got a hooded eyebrow. It comes over his eye itself. So I'm just gonna, so what I'm doing is I'm pushing it back there. And then I don't like this. I'm going to sharpen this one up. That was an old General's white charcoal, but I'm just going to use this because it's getting kind of funky. And again, you just go little pieces at a time. You keep it straight. You're pushing it with your, I'm right-handed, so this is my left hand. I'm not using this to do that. And you push it away. And sometimes, you know, it'll break until you get the hang of it. But so let me just open this up. You could tell the difference. This is really nice and soft. And then make sure it's cleaned off. So now I'm going to go in and I'll see. This is nice. So I'm going to, let's see, he's got a little bit of white under here. And then I'm going to, you can use your eraser a little bit, but I just want to show you what happens. There's not much down here, so I'm just going to kind of pull it up and then bring it down. And then in here, and then I'll start getting I really want to get that eye dark, so I'm going to go in there, push that in. And then with my eraser, I'm just going to kind of pull this down. I'm going to kind of pull it up a little bit. So I'm just pulling out some of the color because you see it was too wide. So go in here. So if you want, you can follow me with this. You could do whatever one that I sent. Those are really good examples because you're going to learn all your values. So I'm just going to go in here. And again, if you start, see how I stopped using the grid already? And it's starting to look like him. So I'm going to turn this upside down because I'm looking at these and I want to look at it as a shape. And when you turn it upside down, now this looks so abstract to me right now. So I'm just going to use the side, and I don't press very hard, going to use the side, and I don't press very hard, and you notice how I'm still using my 6B because I like to blend it. I'm going to just bring that under there, so that's kind of like his bags, and then I'll go in later and do all these little details, but for now I want to get, I'm going to use this again. I'm going to go in here. Okay, so now here we go. And sometimes, see, like, those lines are just kind of blending in. I noticed right here, this is very, very bright, so I'm just going to go in there and put a little bit of the white right in here and put it under here and kind of bring it out. So again, with my eraser, I'm going to kind of just soften it. Okay, blend it. I don't want to use my finger because, first of all, your hands are going to be filthy and the oils in your fingers and everything will get into the paper. So I'm just going to work at it. Push that down a little bit. Push that up. And then I'm seeing now that the shape of that nose, now that it's upside down, I don't like that it really goes up on an angle, so I'm just going to pull it out and bring it there. And then bring, I don't like that one. So by putting that very light value underneath the nostril, starting, because this is all, if I just took this away, that's very abstract, and he's starting to come alive. So I'm going to stop right now, and you should be able to get this much done. And here it is upside down. So it's starting to look like him. You know, I have a lot more to do in here and all that, and I don't like the way that looks, so I'll go in and use this. Sometimes you get stuck on certain things, and it'll always work out. And just be patient with yourself, and you will be able to do this. You will be hooked, and you'll be loving. See, sometimes I get like this, and it's been, what, I don't know how many minutes, and I haven't taken a break. But see, I'm going to go really, really dark. I'm going to push that eye right back in there. Like he's just giving that look. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that for now, and then I will maybe start some more, but I'm going to put this up so you could see it with the other things to just get you guys going. Even if you just do the grid on your drawing and you get the grid on your paper, that's fine. If you don't get this part, I'm just giving you this as a demo. Okay, I don't expect you to get this far, but I just want you to see the process of how this works. So until next week, I will see you on Zoom.